First of all, the ANC was a terrorist organisation and Nelson Mandela was a terrorist. And then you can say Yasser Arafat and the PLO, they were terrorists. Mr. Heaton-Harris, this didn't start on the 7th of October. Do the Palestinians have a right to defend themselves? Because the speak is, Israel has a right to defend itself. Did Palestine have a right to defend itself when land was taken from it, when people were dispossessed, when houses were levelled, when UN resolutions on torture, on ethnic cleansing, on apartheid? Did the Palestinians have a right to defend themselves? Did they have a right to defend themselves when Israel turn on and turn off the electricity and stop food and stop medical aid long before this attack?
Well, let's let him answer, shall we?
Just one more thing, right? There are 600 Palestinian children buried under the rubble at this moment in time. There are over 500 Palestinian children dead. And there are 500 Palestinian children in jail, 150 of them minors. Hostages. The children under the rubble are hostages. The children in the jails are hostages. There are hostages on both sides here.
Do you want to just quickly answer that?
Yeah, and I understand the passion that the lady has talked. But on October the 7th, a terrorist attack of a music festival for a kibbutz changed the nature of the relationship between Israel and the Palestinian, Hamas most certainly, and Palestine.
Let him answer. Give him a chance to answer.
And Israel has absolutely got the right to look after itself. Yesterday I spoke to, there's a very small Jewish community here in Northern Ireland and a slightly larger Muslim community. I spoke to the leaders of both communities. And what they both wanted is what I believe everybody will want in this audience is peace. But it's a long road to peace, and you don't get anywhere along that road when you're attacking and killing people at music festivals and flying in and kidnapping people. It's just not right.
John, so Michael's question is, in Northern Ireland we've learned that talking is key to conflict resolution. How do we encourage talks in the Middle East?
Yeah, and I think it's a very good way to frame the question, because talking is key, and it's not, in this case, as simple as just going straight to talking. We need to create the circumstances where dialogue is possible. And if we take the 7th of October, every person that I've heard right across the world has rightfully condemned what was a deliberate targeting and killing and hostage taking of civilians within Israel. What we have seen in response since October 7th, and so I must say that's also a breach of international law, what happened on October the 7th. What we have seen every single day since October 7th is a breach of international law by the Israelis. And of course, virtually every single day prior to October 7th, the Israeli government have breached international law. They have occupied Palestinian land in contravention of international law. They have blockaded Palestinian territory in contravention of international law. They have built and enlarged settlements in contravention of international law, enforced an apartheid system that strips Palestinians of the most basic civic and human rights, not to mention natural dignity. And they have also targeted and killed and injured civilians on a mass scale for decades. And the response of the Western world at this time is what? Israel has a right to defend itself.